Hello brothers and welcome back to another video. So I want to talk about the IP guidelines today from Games Workshop because apparently they've updated them with new IP guidelines, and I want to make this video spreading the word so people are aware of these new guidelines. I know it's an exhausting topic. I hate talking about this. It's just a back and forth. The community's in an uproar about this. I don't like it. I want the fun times to happen. I want to throw dice. I want to purge in the Emperor's name. But again, I want to make this video so the information gets put out there and it gets spread so you're all aware of these new IP guidelines. So before we go into that, I want to talk about two very important points because it's related to this new IP changes. One is that Games Workshop absolutely has the right to protect its IP. I know a lot of people were bringing that argument up on my previous video, and that was my fault because I never made my argument clear enough. I wasn't arguing that they don't have the right to protect their IP. I was arguing how they went about protecting their IP, like they went and took someone's Patreon down, and that is something that I personally don't believe in. Secondly, just because Games Workshop is changing these IP policies, it does not give anyone the right to send abuse to anyone associated with Games Workshop or is working with them. If you think that this gives you the right to do that, then do yourself a favor, unsub from my channel and piss off, because that level of shithousery will never be accepted with me. Now, the image in the background is some of the infringements that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to include the link to the website if you want to go and read everything for yourself, because there's a lot more attached to this. I'm just covering this small segment. So let's start at the top, which is Counterfeit Models. Our products must not be reproduced or sold, okay? Imitation Models. Our products must not be limited. Imitators produce models which copy heavily from Games Workshop's artwork, books, or products. So that could be a bit of a tricky one because I know there's a lot of third-party sites out there that use a lot of the symbols when it comes to Warhammer 40,000, some of the shoulder designs, the helmet designs. So again, that could be a very, very tricky one going forward in the future. Recasting and 3D printing. I know 3D printing is getting very, very big. So this is one to look forward to. Well, I say look forward to. This is the one to look for into the future. It says our products must not be illegally recast or scanned, nor should digital designs of our products be illegally produced and distributed. Okay. Illegal downloads, publications, audiobooks and stuff, that is a given. You know, they don't want you to download or share their audiobooks. Unauthorized use of our trademarks. Now, this is when it starts to get a little bit, I want to use the word interesting, but I don't want to use the word interesting, but it says unauthorized use of our trademarks. Unauthorized use of registration of our trademarks in respect to similar products or services is not permitted. So this is what I feel is a bit of a grey area now, because technically, am I in breach of that because I use the Chapter Master Valrak artwork on my brand and stuff on my YouTube page? You can see it now and stuff. Does that then breach this infringement in Games Workshop's eyes? Can they then, if I say something maybe they don't like, or maybe they don't like what my channel is doing, can they then come in and say, right, since you are in infringement of these unauthorized use of our trademarks, we can basically shut your channel down? So that is a bit of a worry one for me at this moment. The big one I would say a part of this is the fan films and animation, because this is kind of a change from what I was aware of with Absolute Nothing's video the other day. Because if you're not up to date with him, Games Workshop approached him and said, do you want to come and work with us? He said no, so they basically said, okay, you have to demonetize all your stuff. You had to demonetize it anyway. But according to this one now, when it says fan films and animation, it says individuals must not create any fan films or animations based on our setting and characters. These are only to be created under the license from Games Workshop. So does that mean now then, no matter if you even do an animation which is not making money at all, you're just doing it for the fun of it, you're doing it for the fans, Games Workshop will come along and say, no, since you've made this animation, we don't want you to do that at all. Even though you're not even making money from it, we don't want this animation going forward. Again, this personally does affect me because I was actually involved in doing an animation that I was going to put on my channel, which was a part of the Saturnine book. I wanted to bring to life an amazing scene, which really, you know, filled me with joy. And I think that's more or less got to be put in the bin now, sadly, because of the way that this is worded. Like, if they said something like you can make animations but you can't monetize off them, then I would have put it on the channel and took all the ads off, everything like that, so people could enjoy it. But the way this is worded now, individuals must not create fan films or animations based on our setting or characters. That to me states that no matter what it is, if it's monetized, demonetized, anything that is animation wise is not allowed to be made anymore according to these new infringements. Again, I go back to the statement that I said at the start of the video. I don't mind Games Workshop protecting their their IP. They're a business, they have to. If they don't, then legal ramifications can happen. But just the way they're going about it is something that is really, I think they're taking a bit too far. Like, if you were to make an animation, is there really any problem if no one's making any money of it? If you're just doing it for the goodness of the community, that's what we're supposed to be, right? We as Warhammer fans are supposed to be this amazing community. So if someone does make an animation and puts it out there for the community to enjoy, and we all know that they're not making money from it, what's the problem in that? And finally, at the bottom it says, games and apps. Individuals must not create computer games or apps based on our characters and settings. They're only to be created under license from Games Workshop. Again, that is another big one, because I was making a mod called Death in Duty for Squad. If that came out now, I'd have to cancel it. I'm not too sure what that means for mods set in Warhammer games already. So for example, the Unification mod, does that mean those chaps who are working on that can't really do that mod? Because it is based on characters and settings already that Games Workshop have established. That's a bit of a grey area for me. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback on that. And surely they don't mean that they've got to kill the mods. I think it's more or less aimed at stuff like TTS, Tabletop Simulator, for those who don't know, where people can go on and they can play the 40k game on a digital basis. But I would argue that TTS should probably give us some sanity over these past couple of years with Nurgle's Plague / coronavirus going out in the world. Imagine just being locked in your house, not be able to play with your friends and stuff. Those type of games have been a bloody life send. Anyway, Chaperonios, I'm going to leave it there. I strongly advise everyone to click on the link in the description and go and read the page. We all have friends who do art or something, a part of this, which they're all going through. So maybe just give them a little nudge and say, hey, you may want to read this because, you know, I don't want you to get in trouble or anything like that. Or if GW come for them, then, you know, they might not have a leg to stand on. I'm not going to say they are going to come from them. Maybe they're just covering all bases, and just in case they need to take something down, they can point it into the legal document and say, well, it was here on our website. That's why we're telling you to actually take it down at this moment in time. Again, I know there's a lot of debate on this. I'm going to try and just avoid these videos from now on, because it brings so much arguments in the community, and that's something I don't like to be a part of, to be honest with you. It's just, I want us all to get on. I know it's 40k and we're all butchering each other, but I want the Orc players to get on with the Space Marine players in the comment section. I want us all to be that big loving community where we just jump on and we just throw dice at each other and shout for the Emperor. That is all I bloody want. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Have a nice night and enjoy yourself. Bye.